Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday morning. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting us a little further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to the 4 primary emotions as emotes from our channel. If you're also interested in joining our community, we do have open slots available in our Friday early, starting now, actually, Friday evening, and starting next month, our Saturday early games. So if you're interested in any of those, go ahead and join our Patreon. Reach out to me, inquire about it, and we'll see if we can't get you set up with everything. But without further ado, how about we get into the game? Alrighty. Tosha, give us a recap. What happened last session?
Last time we finally got through the tunnels and we're tracking down the gnome, the dastardly gnome who caused all of this in the first place. The one who came to us,
Herwin.
her, the one who came to us asking for us to help fix a mess he made, only for us to realize how badly he fucked up. After getting in contact with members of his tribe of gnomes in the thicket, and them wanting to get Herwin back or him killed, either one, we tracked him through a set of tunnels, encountering a T-Rex in the process. And outside of those tunnels, we found a set of footprints that led towards a cave. A cave filled full of bears. As we approached the cave, I ended up scouting ahead, finding that there were direwolves about to head into that cave, to which I went back to my family and got their help in dispatching it. After which, myself, Lily, and Kurt, we all went into the cave, hoping not to awaken Mama Shaw, as we scouted in there to find Herwin. We didn't find Herwin, but we found a shrine as well as a chest behind a magical alarm. Attempting to get past the alarm, I cast the Dispel Magic spell, which unfortunately woke up Mama Shaw. She charged out of the cave towards our rest of our family, to which, in beast speech, I called out to her, saying, "You shouldn't have left your children alone," causing her to rush back into the cave, where I was quickly able to cause her to sleep. Kurt, still the strange one of the group, decided to talk to the tree on the small little shrine, and it opened up into a hidden alcove where a dryad helped us find Herwin by teleporting us to a tree outside the thicket. Where tracking him led us to a farm. The farmer from inside his house came out to greet us with a pitchfork until we explained the situation, to which he pointed us towards his barn, where we quickly cornered and dispatched Herwin. The threat eliminated.
So, there you all stand inside of the barn early into the evening, waiting. What would you all like to do?
I would like to examine Herwin's corpse to make sure there's no fuckery going on with him.
Very well. Roll me an investigation.
While he's doing that, I'm taking care of Kurt's backpack.
Would I get advantage with my using my book?
Oh, are you examining the body specifically?
Yes.
Oh, medicine check. Yes. And Bernie, how are you taking care of the backpack?
Well, if Kurt is unwilling to give it up, then I'm going to force it off him, basically, to burn the whole thing. Yeah, trying to
Already.
I assume, well, it seemed like Lily was also kind of concerned about the whole issue with the mushroom people. So if she wants to help try and take care of any like spores and stuff with she has prestidigitation, I think.
I believe so. Or Marion does. And as it was
Right, yeah.
very clearly made to every single person in the party, those creatures are abominations and they are incredibly dangerous and will kill people even if they don't intend to by being within proximity of them.
Right.
And a mundane bag cannot possibly stop them from spreading their spores.
Yeah.
So yes, you do the
I thought at
responsible
first,
thing.
yeah, I thought at first he had like a bag of holding that he put them into. So that's
Yeah,
why I left it
no.
alone, sort of. But
No.
yeah.
Bags in this era have buttons to keep them shut.
Yeah.
That's not gonna do it. So yeah. So yes, you handle the situation as best as you can.
Damn it, Kurt. We might have to go backtrack a bit and make sure that things are not spreading, or at least alert the gnomes about the potential of spreading.
I think they're quite aware of it. They were burning down half the forest last we left them.
Sure, but it seemed to me like they had sort of encircled the area. They might be unaware that there is a potential infestation outside of it.
I think they would be pretty thorough in going through most of that, but if it has gone outside the forest, I doubt they would care anyway.
Well, I don't know. In any case, I don't want to leave it up to it's probably fine. Because if it isn't, then, well, it's going to spread.
All right then.
Also, I do think we should have questioned Herwin. Come to think of it.
Your friend can do the thing with the dead people.
It's true. Tulcha, can you?
I got an 18 or 24 with medicine.
Herwin's body is incredibly unfit, but not malnourished. Admittedly, his cube is on the smaller side for gnomish physiology. By your estimate, he was past his mid-century, so probably close to 140, 160 years old. Gnomes live a long time. And aside from that, there does not appear to be any foul play on his being at all.
Okay.
You do, however, sorry, I actually 24 would definitely yield this. Around his bicep on the left-hand side, there's a ring of miscolored skin that stands out to you. Like, the lower half is slightly less tan than the upper half is.
And I tried to. Is it like an item was there, or is it just skin discoloration?
It's just the skin coloration. It's odd. It's not like where a sleeve would be or anything like that. It's just at a very odd point around his arm.
I have a small knife. Can I try to make an incision?
Yeah.
I'm about to perform an autopsy on this corpse.
Start sawing into the arm of the individual. And with your 24 medicine check, the arm is far younger than the rest of him. The muscles and tendons look stronger. They look younger, fresher.
Can I assume that this is a transplant?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Ooh. Ah, 13.
Not a transplant. No. You think there's probably some type of magical influence with this, but you're not quite sure what it would be.
Hmm. Did something with his arm. It's much younger than the rest of him.
Younger.
What do you mean?
It's the tendons, the muscles. It's all. He should be almost. You said mid-century, right? So over 150. You said.
Yeah, he's just around there.
Should be around 150, but this arm is closer to a gnome in his late 60s. There's magic, I think, that can do this, but I don't recall.
Well, maybe this Tilly person has some sort of ability to do that. I don't know. Or if, well, he did experiment, didn't he, with those mushrooms? He's probably experimented with other things. And Tulsha, are you able to communicate with his corpse?
Not today. I didn't have that prepared.
Right. Well, it's getting late anyway, and if we can take some time to maybe ensure that this area is free of spores, then we can ask the farmer to rest, I suppose, inside anyway.
Why don't you and John go ask the farmer? I want to take a look at what Miriam pointed out.
Right, fine with me. John?
Inside, yes, please. Let's go.
Right. Do you remember the farmer's name, by the way?
Yeah, it was Mac.
Mac.
So, the two of you go over to the front door and... Yeah?
Yes, good evening again. It's us. We've taken care of your gnome problem.
Oh, that is very good.
Right.
Understood. Don't worry, I'll clean up the mess.
No, we'll take care of that. But we were wondering if we could ask for your hospitality for the night.
You may spend the night in Zaban.
That's fine with me. Although I less traveled friend here would, I think, prefer a bit of a warmer shelter if possible.
This is not a bachelor pad. I have a wife. I have 2 children. If you would like, I can provide you with some extra blankets, maybe a cot that we have spare, but I do not know any of you, and I do not wish to offer you entry into my home.
Well, that is completely fair then. I suppose a few blankets would be fine. Thank you very much.
I will bring them out to you very soon.
Okay, thank you. I just look at John, give sort of a shrug, like.
I clutch my side. Yeah, he got me pretty good. I think it'll be okay. We'll make it through the night. I start coughing as I walk away.
Deception check, please, John.
Performance?
Sure.
I mean, they're both applicable, sure.
19. You were wounded?
He like opens it up a little bit, but like, and closes
really
it
dark
again.
Outside.
Yeah.
Just
Bernie walks away.
I'm coming, Bernie. I'm sorry.
we have. There is a room. You can share it with me for the night.
I don't want to impose, but it's so much further back to the barn.
We've helped soldiers here. Come here. And he like puts your other arm over his neck and brings you inside of his home.
No, don't touch. Look, there were. I'll gladly pay for the blankets, but we might need to get rid of them in the morning as well. It's kind of a dangerous thing we've been dealing with, and your roof and your blankets will be enough. Thank you.
And he will allow John inside, but he is going to be sleeping in the same room as you, letting his children spend the night with his wife. And
yep.
Sorry, you're still a stranger. There's.
Oh yeah, I'm not. That's fine.
But John gets to sleep in a bed, guys.
Lucky you.
I had to fight bravely. That was all.
Yep. Alrighty. So, some time passes. He comes out with a lot of quilted blankets for all of you to share however you see fit. There's a couple of bedrolls as well that look very worn, very aged, but clean and more comfortable than just sleeping on hay. And Tolsha, you said you were examining the body?
Yes, I was going to examine the part that Miriam pointed out.
Very well. Would you like to make what are you inquiring about?
I'm also, since he pointed out that he's not sure of how it got there, I'd try to see if it's something that might have been done either from like some kind of potion or if it's arcane means.
All right, roll me an Arcana check. Let me check real quick. All right. You know of a spell that powerful individuals, very powerful individuals can utilize that allows people to regrow lost limbs, called regenerate or regeneration. Um, Based off of the fact that he literally gave up when you all came to him, you highly doubt he was the one able to do that. This is magic that is far exceeds anything you've been capable of performing or anybody you've come in direct contact with has been capable of performing.
This looks like it may have been done by a regeneration spell. That's some powerful magic. He did mention Tilly getting his first. Could this Tilly be that powerful?
She was powerful enough to teach him to look in for druidic necromancy, which I don't even think was a thing before experiencing this. So who knows what she's capable of.
Agreed. Not to mention the other possibilities of if you can mix the druidic and arcane, does that mean you could mix druidic and holy or arcane and holy?
DM, with my magic college background, would I know that a little bit about the divergence and how magic was back then?
History check. The Lyceum is one of the few places in the world that might actually teach that.
Natural one.
You never took that elective. It's an elective course, the history of the divergence and the consequences of magehood.
Yeah, it's just an elective course. It just deals with your judging your moral fiber.
I mean, yeah, you already got your gen ed for like that credit, so like you didn't really care about taking the more complicated course, you know.
Before today, I would never have thought you could use necromancy into plants, so I assume anything is possible with enough time and knowledge.
I am interested in seeing what we could do, especially with like Lily. Her magic is arcane, right?
Correct. I can make that call.
It's also technology.
It's our.
Hey, Icebreaker is here.
Yeah, I will just already point out I'm probably gonna have to hang up at some point. I'm waiting for my ride because I got off the train. But I thought I'd hop in because I've got decent signal here.
Welcome to the Purple Sands.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought this was not daddy issues. We moved past that. Not into the.
We're past the thicket. We're now cross country.
We're out of the thick of it.
Cross country chair. Okay, guys, Jorhas or bust.
Oh, by the way, I remember I did actually tune into the YouTube a little bit. I heard something about a history check. Could Lily also do that because Lyceum student?
Sure.
I need someone to roll for me though.
Oh, god damn it.
Dark Rave, you're up.
I don't have your sheet.
I'm giving it to you right now.
Okay.
You now have access to Lily's sheet. Go ahead and roll.
Okay. History check. $12.
Nah. I mean, it's a super long course with no applicable magic inside of it. It's all history.
Yeah, that was
And
Lily's
it's
elective, but the one that she fell asleep in most of the time.
sure.
I'm honestly wanting to see what we could try to figure out if we were to mix our two different kinds of magic. Because if a combination of two is possible, why not all three? You're muted.
Well, we have arcane and divine. All we need is nature.
Shale might have been able to fill that since rangers are in tune with nature.
By the way, the moment that Shale's name is mentioned, Lily throws a small hammer in Tosha's direction. Not like to hit her, but there's like, just, you don't say
throw.
that name.
Look over at you. Speaking of, she mentioned before she left that I need to speak with you at some point in private.
Lily's eyes are narrow, and she probably walks away to be alone for the moment.
What was that about?
Shale walked in on some family history.
Ah, I see. That does make it a little bit awkward. I won't try to press her too hard on it, though. Considering she preaches about not keeping secrets from one another.
It's less a secret and more personal. And that is all I will say on the subject.
Fair enough. Well, we better find a good place to bed down in the barn. Because I have a gut feeling that we're not going to get inside the house.
Probably not.
I'm trying to think of any questions to ask him. I'll make sure that spell's prepared in the morning.
I have a question for you, Tulsa.
Yes?
How well do you think the group has been doing without Shale?
I think there has been more tension in the group. I do think we need to have a sit down one of these days and calmly talk about things. Even if it might be one-on-one to work things out. But I did half expect this considering besides Kurt and Bernie and you and Lily, none of us really know each other. Aside from the fact that we are siblings. John, of course, is. I'm surprised he survived each one of these encounters.
I am as well, honestly. I honestly thought that T-Rex was going to kill one of us.
It almost killed me.
Which is why I am going to ask, do you have any spare weapons on you?
I do have my mace, dagger, and short bow. I'm not exactly great with the mace. But I also do have this, and I'll probably make my bag pull out a whip. I don't know if you are necessarily great at it. Not many people specialize in it, to my knowledge.
Hmm. I'll get back to you on that. I have a project I have to work on.
Do let me know if I can help. And if you ever come across any kind of ruin you don't know, do let me know. I have extensive knowledge on them.
Of course.
I mean, I am an archaeologist.
Hmm. Oh, did I forget? Did I show Tolsha the necrotic rune on the mound?
I don't know. Did
I
you?
believe you did because she Tosha was the one who knew runes, and like it was one of those group things that we did.
Okay.
I do need to get a book on plants now, because between those leaves and the leaf from earlier.
Right.
What is with us and different plants affecting things?
Hey. Honestly, I'm starting to wish I took a botany course.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Lily is the one who likes mixing things together. I'm more of a see what's there and what can I enhance.
That's fair. I figured some of my knowledge might have come in to help, but I wasn't familiar with that plant at all, which is strange, but things are rare. Anyways, I'm going to go find a place to bed down for the night.
Right. Have a good sleep, Tolsha.
You as well, Miriam.
Are you all ready to go to sleep then?
I have one thing I would like to do.
Alrighty.
I'm going to go to Lily and get the corpses out of the bag of holding.
Oh, that's right. Good times.
you successfully retrieve the corpses from the bag of holding.
Right. Been claiming myself this for a long time. It's time for me to actually practice my craft. Is Lily, are you gonna stay and watch this?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. She's taking notes. She's the Igor to your Victor Frankenstein.
All right, and I will begin to cast Animate Dead on both of these corpses.
Alrighty. So, as you all are starting to go to sleep, relaxing inside the warmth of this barn with some fresh quilts and blankets, there's a storm that moves into the area, striking loudly close by each of you as you are there. Those of you inside of the barn, you feel the barn sway slightly with the heavy rain and heavy winds. Not an overly concerning amount, but one to take note of. John, from inside, you are drinking a nice cup of tea that is served to you as, well, you get to just relax and hang out a little bit. And then from outside, you hear a very loud, maniacal laughter that, John, you recognize as Lily. Marion, you look over at her. Tolsha and Bernie, you kind of peek over the railings as you watch two corpses slowly rise.
Wow, what's going on here?
Lily, I was trying to be discreet about this.
I tried to time it with the lightning, but the lightning like flashed and then the thunder, and I was still laughing.
Why would you
Sorry.
laugh maniacally to begin with? I wasn't.
It's about tone and like look at it's alive.
Yes, they are.
And you wonder
I mean,
why we
they're
don't
dead.
let you go on stealth missions alone.
They're not alive,
Uh-huh.
they're undead.
You don't know that.
I plan to prove the distinction without a difference.
Well, they certainly look undead.
Well, maybe you need to reassess your values
My values?
or assumptions. You know what? Just no. Shush.
I take my
As
orange
Lily-
scarf and wrap it around one of their necks, and I put my leaf hat on the other.
What are you going to do with this? These?
That, I pull out my lesson plan, is what this is for.
Right.
Now you have me curious.
I have honestly, this is probably a fool's errand and probably won't work.
Can I just point something out? I mean, I don't necessarily mind what you're doing here, but it's not the best place to do it, is it? I mean, we've asked the hospitality of these people living here, and I mean, if I were to take in travelers late one night and they suddenly start bringing corpses back to unlife in my barn, not the best look, is it?
It's fine. They're gonna sleep in the bag of holding. They don't need to breathe. Breathe.
Right.
Breathe.
No, but I'm talking about right now and right here.
I mean, both of you kind of have a point.
I instruct the skeletons to go into the bag of holding.
It makes sense
They
in
one
regard
by
of
one
him.
crawl.
Lily's got the bag open for the skeletons.
It makes sense in the regard of him doing it before he falls asleep, since we do regain spells after a rest. But I also do see your point, Bernie. It is a little bit rude.
Not just rude, but I mean,
But I cleaned up, prestidigitation, all the gunk away.
I'm just curious as to why.
Science.
Research, as well as there's only 5 of us now that can fight.
Right.
These are
And
2 more proverbial bodies.
Right. And what happens to them if you were to die?
They wander.
Right. That is not a good prospect.
Bernie, as long as I'm here, no one is going to hurt Marion.
And I do have the ability to bring any of you back from the dead. Not
Right.
as undead, but as actual alive.
Right.
And
it's
Tulsha can destroy them with the snap of her fingers.
That
right.
too.
Well, that's fine. I mean, and I get your sentiment, Lily. I'm just saying, if something happens, we wouldn't want to be responsible for having more problems caused out in the world because of our carelessness.
Right, and we should probably talk about that again with Kurt.
Right, and I'm going to. But adding one issue to another doesn't make any of them go away.
Yep.
Would you like to know the reason why I did this? Or would you like
why I asked?
I suppose you could say thesis, which I have not declared to anyone, is I want to see if these undead can be taught.
That is actually a good question.
Unlike other spells like this, like when I summon Jack, he disappears. The bodies fall limp. They will exist once the magic stops in 24 hours. How? Why? What keeps them together? Is there any form of consciousness? A form of soul beyond what was already gone? Could these be new people with new memories, new lives? That is what I wish to study. To see if it is even possible.
I see. I'm just glad I'm not a paladin of Saren Ray right now.
Why would you
Or
do?
the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
That's actually a
Which-
good question.
which gen-
Does this fall under your god's tenets?
Not necessarily. Not really. She's not that concerned with undead so long as they're not being used in any horribly bad way.
Any
Or
civilization
created
ruining way.
unethically.
Yeah.
Yeah, the individuals he is creating, I will remind everybody, had that form on their bodies saying that their bodies could be donated for the arcane practices and arts and development of any ethical treatment of magecraft. So,
Right.
They're ethical bandits. Kind of.
exactly.
Right.
You could be morally bankrupt, but ethically sound. Just
Well, I won't get in your way, I suppose. Just promise me you'll be careful with all this, right?
Well,
We
That-
have enough issues on our hands.
oh, also a question, Bernie. You wouldn't happen to have 2 more short swords on you, would you? Or shield?
Well, no. I did give. Don't we have my old shield? I think we still have it somewhere.
Don't we have a short sword and a long sword in the bag of holding, Lily?
I as a player can't check that right now, but we might.
I'm checking it.
I'm looking at it, so I was kind of like,
We have a short sword and a long sword and a great axe.
they cannot use a great axe or a long sword.
Darn.
Oh, by the way,
Undead
as this conversation's going on too, Lily is probably getting. Do we have alchemist fire by chance? No. Oh yeah, I know. I remember. We do still at least have some gunpowder. Lily's getting some like maybe small enough sacks of gunpowder, and she's like duct taping them inside the rib cages of the skeletons.
Are you packing them in kegs? What are you doing?
It's probably like small like sacks of gunpowder that are now dangling from inside the skeleton rib cage.
Miriam, can undead attune to items?
No, they do not. Attunement connects to the soul. They lack one at the moment.
Until you do more research.
Could you,
Go
in
ahead.
theory, with the idea of using like the runes from the druidic and necromantic, could you infuse an augment into them?
That worked so well before.
Can I roll Arcana to see is that theoretically possible?
Sure.
I am proficient in Arcana as well, so I'm gonna assist him with it.
Okay.
All right, you
roll
have
again.
advantage, Miriam.
18.
You have no idea. Theoretically, anything is possible, but you don't even know why the rune didn't work as intended previously. How are you gonna, like, alter something that you don't even know how it worked intentionally or unintentionally? Like, there's so many steps you would have to take to get to that next point. It is very far outside of your reach as a mage.
Gotcha.
May I ask why you're? I mean, Miriam, are you planning to? Do you want to learn how to fight or anything? Is that it? I mean, with weapons, or
I can fight with a dagger or a quarter staff, but doing so would I would need do that instead of casting my magic.
right. Well, no, I'm just wondering why you suddenly in need of weapons.
For the skeletons.
Right. Okay.
And if that doesn't work, then we could blow up these gunpowder that are inside them, and blow up any enemies that we are fighting.
Right. Well, let's just take a step back here and sort of get a wider perspective on this thing we're doing. You are doing. Okay, so
that's
what's the idea here is that we will have these skeletal soldiers accompany us to assist us in combat?
Correct.
Is that it? Right. And what if, when, say, we enter some village or hamlet somewhere to stock up on supplies and get a rest, what are you going to do with them?
Keep them in the bag.
Right.
They do not need to breathe, so they can live there until we need them.
Right. Well, that is a good plan on the surface, I suppose, but the thing is, I generally don't like walking around with undead, and they do have a certain stigma, not unfounded, attached to them. And if we're a group that starts walking around having undeads accompanying us, someone's at some point going to notice. And I mean, there are people who are very zealous about those kind of things. I'd prefer we don't antagonize too much. You understand my point here?
I understand. And actually,
Well,
I just thought of an idea on the subject. We have a silkworm farm.
How does that change anything?
Robes are very ominous in disguising of their forms.
Oh, you're going to...
He does have a point, and between that and the fact of keeping them in the bag as we travel through populated areas, that does mitigate most of your concerns.
I'm just wondering if this is how it starts, you know, you've heard these stories of like these old like bad people, villains and all kinds of stuff. If this is how it starts, they're just thinking, oh, maybe this is not so bad. We'll just disguise up some skeletons and
I mean,
yeah.
if Miriam is right and they do have a mind outside of this, couldn't the undead be taught to do manual work, be taught to be crafters, artisans, to help fill the needs of jobs? What if you get one that decides to be a devotee to one of the gods?
What, you using them for
Skeleton
cheap
priest.
labor? Is that it?
No, but if he's right in that there is something outside the soul, could the body have a mind of its own?
Taking away good jobs from honest work people?
Oh dear God, we're not getting into this conversation.
Oh no.
Those damn undeads took my job.
Because I can...
Damn skeleton boys.
I can see where Miriam's coming from, because you know how our bodies do act on instinct alone, like a trained fighter knowing to parry a blow. Surely that means there's something there.
I'm not saying it's not interesting. I'm just... wouldn't it be better to have to study these kind of things in some sort of enclosed space or somewhere safe that you can set up instead of out in the
I
world?
was going to petition the Lyceum, but I kind of got dragged along on a misadventure, and I turned to Lily.
Right. Well, that makes sense, I suppose.
So now he has to do it in the field. Which, at least he's packing up as he goes. He's not leaving a horde of zombies behind.
And who better to trust to if I die on this journey than to deal with them than you, my brother?
Well, I've dealt with my siblings' issues throughout my whole life. I'd rather not have to worry about more siblings.
Don't worry, I can also dispel them quite easily.
Right.
And in theory, assist you in making more.
Tolsha, how many arrows do you have for that short bow?
18.
I'd like to take that and the bow, please.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to go to bed, but before I do, I'll just say that I really don't like this, and, well, I'll trust in your abilities to keep things under control. and hidden. We don't need any more attention.
Right.
Well, good night.
Good night. All right, we have sword skeleton and bow skeleton.
All right, there we go. We're getting there. They're evolving.
What's their names?
Anyway. Jack and Sally.
No, Jack's the cat thing.
Hansel and Gretel?
No. Bowser
originally-
and Sword, sir. I fucking hate you.
So fucking much. I think you know how good that is.
What's their name? Bowman and Swordman. What's the question here?
Well, I'm pretty sure I told Gorensky and Icebreaker this before, but they're effectively reborn skeleton brothers.
So
Sans
Mario and Luigi?
Papyrus.
Ah.
I bought a green scarf, motherfucker. I planned this. The DM
Give them
shakes
some
his
kind
head
of boots of
disappointingly.
jumping and stuff as well.
What was that?
Gotta give them some kind of like boots of jumping and stuff.
Anyways. Nighttime? Bedtime? Sleepy sleeps?
Nighttime.
Alrighty. You all wake up in the morning feeling refreshed, anew, a little sore from sleeping on the very uneven ground of the barn. John, that bed felt amazing. It's been so long since you had a bed underneath you. So good. And early in the morning, John gets to eat breakfast with the family. Just waffles.
Be right back. I have a phone call.
Okay.
I cast mage armor, so I have mage armor.
He's learning. Anyways, a couple of hours into the morning after everybody else eats their rations, you all gather together and discuss what to do next.
Probably just over the breakfast, Jero asked them where we are
Joey.
and where. Thank you, Joey. Where the nearest township is.
Well, you are only about 15, less than that, I think. 10-ish miles outside the Velven Thicket. We're slightly closer to Eurosa. It's a little northeast of all of us. But if you head due east, you will hit Pride's Walk in a very long period of time. You just need to go over the river.
Okay, I'll just share that with the group when we meet up in the morning.
But there is a traveling circus that is going to be stopping by near the walk. Me and the missus are actually thinking about going.
The walk. Where's that located?
Pride's Walk. The walk.
Are you the road?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me bring you over to the map to show. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we were thinking about going over there and seeing the circus. It's not every day you get to see such amazing marvels and such.
Absolutely, I'm sure you'll have a great time, and hopefully this will take care of your ticket price. I'll just give him a silver for the accommodations and excuse myself.
Alrighty. So now you meet up with everybody as they're finishing up their rations.
Oh, I hope everybody slept well. You all look. You do. You look.
Yes. Pulling probably a bit of straw out of my hair still.
So we're not that far from, it seems like we're kind of between Pride's Call and Hirosa, the thicket, over obviously the trees. Don't suppose any of you had a preference for where we'd be going from here. No, your tiefling friend there says he wants to go back and speak with the gnomes. What about the rest of you?
Well, I do want to see more of the Empire, and if we want to try and start finding your memories, it would be probably wise to go to Yarosa to see if we can find out where the person with your memories might be.
Definitely not going to be back in Pride's Call. That I can be sure of. On a nicer note, there is a form of entertainment along the way. Seems to be a ways off down by the Pride's Walk, some type of carnival attraction going on. Might at least give us some reprieve while we transverse during the day, at least until your friend can get his lovely, dreary ship back. That thing's a godsend. I mean, I would hate to have to walk around on my own for prolonged periods of time, but if it can't be helped.
Speaking of, if we do use the ship, I doubt we should do it on the main road or anywhere near the main road. It's not every day you see a flying ghost ship.
Well,
Wait,
no.
where did we leave the cart again?
What was that question, Darko?
Oh shit, Kent.
You left it outside the Velvet Thicket all the way
Fuck.
over there.
We have to go back
Don't
for
worry,
Kent.
you have sending. You can just
Right, we told Kent last night to go around the forest eastward to come meet up with us.
All right, sure.
Well, we'll have to go down to meet with Kent, and then we can take the cart.
Right. But before we do anything, Tulsa, would you be able to do that ritual today? Speaking with Herwin, I mean.
It's not a ritual, but yes.
Well,
If it was a ritual, then I wouldn't have to worry about spending some of my power, but...
Well, no, but it still is a ritual, kind of.
But it's not.
Magic is magic.
Out of game, I don't necessarily mean as a mechanical ritual things.
I know when I'm playing it in character of
being a shit.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you can do that today.
Yes, if he does recognize me though as an enemy, he likely won't answer my question. So, Lily, I need your cloak again.
Right, you can have my wig too if you want, I suppose. By the way, I haven't been able to. Well, I wanted someone to try and make that part of a helmet, but while it's still like this, I suppose if anyone wants to use it, you can have it.
I just look at Miriam.
Well, he used the bold one.
You're talking about the wig, right?
Yeah, the wig of protection +1.
I mean, I've never had hair.
Right, well, that settles it. I pull it out and hand it to you.
All right. And this is the one that changes color and style, right?
No.
No, it's a blonde wig.
Yeah.
I thought
It's
it
like
changed when
Fabio.
Bernie tried to attune to it. Changes to match
Nah.
hair color.
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
Made by Mage.
It'll change to match your hair color, but not style. It's still the
So that's a good
Right,
question.
right.
Jero, what's my natural hair color that
Joey.
doesn't exist? Joey, sorry.
doesn't exist.
So what does it turn
So it
into?
wouldn't change. It'd just be that.
Okay.
It just turned into 404 hair color not found.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right, I'll mark that down in my inventory, and I guess I'll attune that when we get to the cart.
All right, what questions do you want me to ask Bernie before I cast a spell? That way we have them figured out
Right.
beforehand.
Right, let's see. Where was he going? Where is Tilly, and what is she doing? Let's see. It's 5 questions, right? Or no, it's just
The chili part might be 2 questions,
right.
so there would be 2 left.
What was his plans after this? And
Why was he such a dumbass?
no. Let's just leave the last one open in case he reveals some interesting information. We can do that, right?
All right. I'll borrow Lily's cloak and disguise myself to look like a generic gnome
Okay.
and cast Speak with Dead.
All right.
And
Describe what this gnome looks like to me.
Gonna look short, face just completely like warty and beat up, like he got decked when he was young and it just didn't set right. So it's a kind of crooked, mangled face, wearing like heavy greens with leaves and using a wooden walking stick to make it look like he is a older but respected healer, if not on the ugly side.
Sure. Now, you cast Speak with Dead. The jaw unhinges. Ask your questions.
Owen, where are you going?
I was going to meet up with Tilly.
Where is Tilly?
I don't know. Somewhere near some swamp.
What is she doing?
She's planning to make big changes here.
What were your plans after leaving the thicket?
I never got that far.
Look over to Bernie. The kind of
Um, what is it she wants to achieve?
what big changes and plans does she have in mind?
The downfall of empires.
That's all five. Gonna clear my throat. I really hate throwing my voice.
Right, that was somewhat informative, I suppose. Near a swamp of some kind. Right.
Joey, on the map that I saw back at our father's place, how many swamps were there heading in this direction? I do have cartographers.
All right, roll me that then, using intelligence.
Sure.
At least a couple. You didn't really take particular notes of swamps, you know, not really a place that most people like to be. They smell.
There's several swamps out in this direction. We'd have to narrow it down if we wanted to chase this lead. I say hand Lily back her cloak.
Right. Well, question is it did he mean an actual swamp, or is it a marshland, wetland, a fen, or many kinds of?
You're getting a bit too specific on that, I think.
Sure, but I mean there is a
I
not
get.
so little difference.
I mean, yes, I get your point there, but
Right. Well, anyway, this is sort of a side thing, I suppose, but I think at some point we should really look into this Tilly person. I mean, we do have the task of getting John over to Rexentrum, I suppose, but after that, I really think we should do something about it, and at least, well, if you wouldn't mind, maybe not today, but tomorrow, we could do one of those sendings. I'd like to alert my superiors in the order about this Tilly person.
Sure. For a second, I thought you would recommend sending her a message. I was like, no.
No, I are you even able to?
I mean, maybe. It just has to be a creature I'm familiar with.
Right. Well, we don't know what she even looks like, really.
No. All I really know is her name's Tilly and she's some kind of eco-terrorist.
Right.
Not
Was
enough.
she a halfling? Or I don't remember what the gnome said.
No, I think no. She's a gnome, so she's a gnome eco-terrorist named Tilly.
Okay. Well, that's 2 gnome eco-terrorists.
appearance unknown.
Yeah. Did I just make a pun of some kind?
Yes, yes, you did, and it was horrible.
I didn't even plan to. Right. Well,
It just happens.
right. Well, I suppose we should just get going then for now. Maybe
Let's-
bring the Miriam, can you make sure these blankets and stuff are clean with that thing you do? We'll just hand it back.
Miriam. Dark Rave.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been setting up. I've been trying to figure out the stupid micros for the damn wig.
Can you just do that thing you do with cleaning the blankets and stuff?
Prestidigitation. Sorry.
Right.
There you go.
Problem.
They're all clean.
Okay. I'll just wrap them up real quick and then hand them back to the farmer and say adios or auf Wiedersehen. Maybe not.
Jesus.
Guten Tag.
Yeah.
Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Well, maybe we run into you at the circus. Eh? Goodbye.
Yes, maybe we'll see. Well, have a good day, and I hope you don't get bothered by any more interesting travelers for a while.
Us as well.
Bye.
All right, guys. So, as you all figure out what the hell you're going to be doing for the next stretch of this coming adventure, we're going to go on break, so you can think about that. We'll be right back. Yellow. How is everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land today? I hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday afternoon at this point, right? Yeah. Before we jump back into the action, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting the community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here on our page. Or if you're interested in joining any of our games, we are a pay-to-play D&D community, and we do have open slots available in several of our time slots. You can just look at our Patreon. Each of those time slots, as well as the description of the game, is already listed on our Patreon. And if you find any of them interesting, join at one of the lower tiers and get yourself a one-on-one with me. See if the game will actually be a good suit for you before you sit down and play your first session. But that's going to be all of my self-promoting. Let's get into the action. Where last we left off, the party had a moral conversation with Miriam about his thesis? Yeah, thesis, not a thesis. Yes, thesis. On necromancy, and if there's a way to train skeletons to do remedial tasks or beyond that as well. He did create 2 skeletons under his control and whim right now, and although Bernie is nervous about this, more or less, so long as you are incredibly careful, everything should be perfectly fine, and the paladin doesn't immediately remove them from existence, because to be fair, skeleton paladin, one wins. In addition to that, John managed to deceive the lovely Zemnian farmer into letting him sleep in their home, so he had a nice comfy place to relax while everybody else slept in the cold, damp, rickety barn outside. And early in the morning, you all ate your food, got to regroup, learn that there is a circus not very far away from where all of you are here on the Pride's Walk Road, heading towards Eurosa right now, and maybe you're going to come across that in your journeys. We also retroactively said that you were going to do a sending out to Kent so that Kent can start catching up with all of you. You bred truth.
Breed trust.
Yeah, my mind did not work right there for a second. I'm not dyslexic, I'm fairly certain. I am just an idiot, though. Anyways, here we are, everybody. You ready for your journey to take place? You're going to be hoofing it during the days, at least until Kent catches up to you. Then at night, you get to sail across the open skies.
And yeah, also during one of the days, we'll take time to cast sending to Lord Commander Delrin Dark Tower of the Iron Oath to just inform him that there is a person named Tilly who is terrorizing, who is kind of a terrorist trying to bring down empires, apparently, working in this area. And that's basically all the information we have.
I'm gonna need to start charging you with how often you have you sending.
Well, I mean, do you want to stay up front in the combats then?
Fair enough.
Okay, we have a deal.
I'm so tired. Can you just please carry me for a little while, Bernie?
No.
Miriam. You're large. Very strong, I'm sure. He leans on you heavily.
I push you onto Misty.
No, don't. No. Misty, stay.
Oh, thank God.
Ugh. You need to
It's
start
an adult riding a pony or a mini horse.
All right, I'm sorry. I have very low constitution and I'm not built for this.
Well, it's You need to start building up your constitution then. It's called carrying your own weight.
What? My constitution is fine. I eat a hearty breakfast every morning. It's just you guys move so much. Why?
You know, for someone who claims to have traveled town to town, you sure do complain about walk.
In a cart, my friend. It's not that hard of an idea to comprehend. You don't walk from place to place. Only fools would do that.
Great for your thighs, though.
Well, I suppose you don't need these fools' help then.
I believe I will need every ounce of that as soon as we do reach our destination, but getting there, I'm afraid, will end me prematurely, so I'd very much like to do something about that in the meantime, please.
We can get in the cart if you want.
No, just tell this thing to keep moving. Come on, giddy up. Go.
Could look at the horses like.
Advance. No, I'm talking about
You
me.
don't have horses yet.
Oh, that's
Ken
right.
has the cart, and he is 180 miles away from you all.
Vamonos. Onward. What's the word she uses?
If it's yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
I say in giant to Misty, yip yip, and have her dart ahead.
And she just starts taking off, dashing.
Rolls off immediately and like winds up on the ground. Was that necessary?
You wanted to go faster.
No, I just wanted to go.
Well, we are we are going. Walking.
So
we could jog if you want.
Technically, I have Phantom Steed, and I could technically, and that's a ritual, I could get us all horses simultaneously over the course of several hours.
How long does it last?
Well, you ritually cast each one for 10 minutes, and it lasts for 1 hour.
That's the question. Can I ritually cast while on the horse?
Yes.
So I can keep casting it every, 50 minutes.
That's literally all you're doing the entire time.
But we'd have to catch up with you. The first
when you summon it doesn't. Hold on, let me double check this.
You summon one in 10 minutes. And if you were going to summon another one, that would be another 10 minutes. And you would literally be spending half the time people dismounting their previous one to get on the new one.
Yeah. If it lasted for 8 hours or something, then it'd be viable. But
it only lasting 1 hour, you're good. Everyone else is screwed. But you can totally do that, Marion, for yourself.
How long does Jack last?
Same time. And he's concentration.
What's a jack?
The skeleton.
You have a skeleton?
3 now.
Can they carry me?
Who's the third skeleton?
No moral dilemma. Just, they can do it.
You know what, John?
That doesn't sound like a no.
You know what, John? I will let them carry you if I hold out the lesson plan. You try to teach them how to speak and read. You teach them how to speak while they're carrying you.
Oh, I'll teach them anything about Exandria if they're willing to take me off my poor feet.
All right, I'm going to pull Sans and Papyrus out to carry him and hand him my lesson plan for Idiot's Guide to Common.
Oh my god, they're hideous.
They're bones. With one's wearing a hat, the other's wearing a scarf.
What? Are
One
they?
has a sword, the other's a bow.
Your attempt of disguising them?
No, we have to get to the cart and make them robes for that.
Right. Well, in the meantime, John reaches in his bag and like pulls out like a scarf and like wraps it around one of their heads, and he puts like a draping hat over the other one. Okay.
So now they both have hats and scarves.
Okay, at least that will keep them from immediately being noticed. And here, put these on too. I put a pair of gloves on the one that is going to be picking me up.
So, while you're being carried, you're going to be reciting the words of the Idiot's Guides too common to these creatures, as per Miriam's deal.
And don't be just a lecturer, be a teacher.
Now,
am I allowed
survival
to
check.
bend the lesson just slightly, Jero, to my own devices? Joey, thank
Absolutely.
you.
19. You're trying to find the proper way over to the road right now, and luckily the skies have cleared out for all of you to travel in this area. The snowy drift now seems to be moving in more consistently than the freezing rain, which is technically better. It's colder, but it's less soaking into your entire fucking being in essence. As you are traveling, being carried by your two wayward companions, up ahead, John. And slightly after that, Tolsha. You notice that there appears to be a camp not very far from you, with tents, a fire, and it seems to be just off of the road that all of you are approaching right now.
Shimmy out of the grip. Over there. Some people you might want to get your friends out of here.
Yeah.
With spell sniper, can I tell what they are?
What?
Gives me range. I can see things, I think.
What? No.
Hey, if I can
That's not
shoot
how,
something,
it doesn't give you a
300 feet
fucking
away, I should be able
telescope to
see it.
look at them. Yeah, it's more like to whom it may fucking concern. It's just no, you need an actual like looking glass or something like that. You could find one though. They're only 1,000 gold.
Alright, I'm gonna put the skeleton, the bone boys in the bag.
Alrighty.
Do you think it's Kent's? Are we finally saved? The odor was starting to bother me.
See, I suppose. Could be. Well, was it? It's only one campfire, right?
It's one
Joey?
very large campfire. Yes.
Right. Well, could be some kind of merchant caravan, or could be the circus people, I suppose.
Warmth, company, and horses. That's all I care for now.
Either way, it's best that the sad zebra pies are put away.
Right.
Well, shall we be about it then? Best foot forward and all that.
Yes.
So, let me bring you all over to the other map. As you are approaching closer towards that section of the road, being able to enter onto it and continue your pathway, luckily, it is bright enough outside that you can make out the details of what appears to be crowned soldiers and imperial scouts all around a large caravan, not very far from you.
I don't think it's Kent or Carnival folk. They look to be imperial in nature.
It might be best for us to walk past them then.
Right. Let's do that. And if you have any way of disguising yourself, now's the time. And I use my tiefling ability to look like some kind of human commoner.
How far off the road, if at all, are they, Joey?
So the road is here. They're about 40 feet or so off the main road. You're all on this map, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're over here. You're all right here.
Oh, I was
Heading that way.
way in. Sorry.
Good.
I of course recommend Lily turn into that human disguise. I should be able to pass myself off with the hood up.
I pull up the cowl of my robes and go monk.
Now you are just freakishly tall compared to humans.
Gotta do something, man.
Quick hunch over.
No, totally. Bernie and Kurt, do either? Oh, both of you have disguise selves once per day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I assume Kurt's going to use his.
Yeah, I'm using mine. So.
Okay, there we go. There we go. So most of you are fairly well hidden. The only persons who could easily be discerned with a closer glance would be Marion and Tosha. Everyone else uses illusions to keep themselves safeguarded and protected. As you continue marching down the road, John. Oh, by the way, everybody, is this marching order okay for all of you?
I'm going
Would
to
anybody
be.
like to be anywhere else?
Yeah, I'll be up near the front.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Be in the middle.
Bernie,
I'll be right behind John, I think.
right behind John. Tosha in the middle.
Probably
Put
have.
Kurt a little in the middle as well. Would somebody else who is present like to be in the front other than John?
Oh no.
Alrighty then. John, you're the one taking the lead on this. Party's putting a lot of trust into you. As you are moving up the road, John takes note of a couple of the scouts kind of like tapping other soldiers on their backs and shoulders as all of you are walking. And you see one of the soldiers stands up straight, raises their hand towards you all,
Ahoy.
and in perfect and very fast-speaking Zemnian is going to speak. John, you understand Zemnian fluently. Bernie is learning Zemnian, if I understand correctly, right? You were learning as you were traveling.
Yeah, I'm only like 1 week from being fluent.
Oh yeah, so you're almost there. It's just if they use any big words, you go fuck.
Yeah.
And in perfect Zemnian, the scout's going to wait there, please.
Kindly so, and I just put a hand back.
A couple of the soldiers come walking over with him as well. The three individuals cross over the bridge towards you all.
Beautiful
All
day.
of you, it is a beautiful day, isn't it? Yes. It is, barely gloomy. What, brings all of you out here?
The festivities up the way. We attend on lending some of our services and partaking in the events if they'll allow. My name is Jean Walter. I believe you or maybe some of your friends have heard of me, the omnipotent oculist. One of
John
the
Voltaire.
Voltaire, yes.
I would like you to roll me a deception check, please.
Are we running with Jean Valjean?
21. Very well. So you're planning on lending some services, some acts. Maybe you would like to perform for us.
Oh, actually, I would love to. If you'll excuse me for a moment, I reach into my vest and I just pull out like a deck of cards or something. You all know each other quite well, right?
Yeah.
And you trust your fellow officer here, the one I point to the one speaking to us.
The other two nod, and he doesn't even look.
With your lives, I say, and a grin, like, just starting to form on my face. I look
His
at
eyes
each-
narrow, but the two soldiers look kind of excited.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Well, and I start doing a quick shuffle and just fan the deck out and give it to the Imperial officer. Just take any card that you would like, and once he's taken his, I'll give it to each of his friends and allow them the same.
Right? They all take cards from the deck.
All
I'd like
right.
to keep an eye on John to learn what kind of magic he uses.
Sure. It's fine. I tell them to take the cards now and put them into their hands so they're completely closed, and make sure that each of them like look and can see each other's card is like within both of their hands. All right, now you all have committed to memory your card, correct?
Yes, of
Whatever
course.
happens, you must not tell each other what the other's card is. Now, you, Captain, I'll pull him towards me so he's closer and the other two are a little bit further back. I need you to take your card and give it to me, but using your mind. And I just look at him like locking eyes with one another. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Your superior here has given me the information I seek, and now we shall be able to figure out the exact card that he is holding. Can I have your other friend here? I just like move him aside and pull him up, and same thing. I like pull him up to me and look into his eyes for a moment to figure out the card, and then I pull the third one forward, and I kind of ponder for a bit. Better watch you. Okay, I think we're good. And lining all three of them up with their cards in hand, I look over at the rest of the group and go, well, it's kind of surprising because this one here is the leader, and he does have a command over his fellow men. I wasn't able to discern if he trusted them, but I was able to discern that they do indeed trust him with their lives. And it appears that despite this, they all share an equal respect for one another. And I have each of them unveil the card that they're holding, and each has a different jack suited. A spade, a heart, a diamond. And then I sit and I ponder for a moment, but you didn't know that I could also be trusted as well. And I step back, and where I was stepping before, there's a playing card on the ground. And as I reach down and pick it up, I have a jack of clubs.
The two soldiers clap. The scout watches you. Is that what we have in store for checking out this event, then?
I mean, that was merely an introduction. I have much greater ability, but obviously I wouldn't want to perform to my greatest capacity in front of such a small audience.
Good. Then, maybe when we show up to the circus, you all are going to get us in. Military
Gladly.
discount.
I'd love to have the company. It's my pleasure.
And on the surface of the thoughts, Bernie, you hear him. Of course. They always just give us what we want. Wonderful. And from further down the road, Tolsha, you see a group of individuals walking towards you all. Very casually, very lackadaisically. There is an older human man with a admittedly very nice mustache, smoking a cigar in obnoxiously over-draping, ostentatious clothes that is trying to make him look more prestigious than he is. Standing directly beside him is a mustache-pinned looking orcish fellow with a musketeer-style garb from head to toe and a rapier by his side, as well as another large elderly human who's holding this incredibly long battle axe that has strings and strums going down to the bottom of it, and a very shy-looking blue-skinned tiefling with obnoxious amounts of jewelry adorning them as they're kind of trying to slink behind everybody else, and a half-elf. Best description I can give you is hippie with sandals, strumming a lute, just walking towards you all. John, you recognize Wandrich as he is approaching.
Stage just keeps bringing more and more friends into my company. Hello, Wandritz. How are you doing?
John Voltaire, it has been a moment. Hello. And then he gives a salute to all of the soldiers. Hello, all of you as well. I see that we have more wandering people out here on the roads. I suspect you'll all be showing up to our event this evening. Yes, your performer was just alerting us that we would all be accepted for free into your event. Wandrich looks over at you, John, and gives you a smile. But of course, anything to keep up the morale before this great, grandiose war. And what a performance you are all going to receive tonight. But if you don't mind, we have to be taking our act with us and start preparing for you all. While this individual walks up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just standing like off to the side, trying not to draw attention and using my divine sense.
None of those three. No celestial fiends or undead near you.
All right.
And you hear, just as your spell is about to end, Bernie on his mind. Ah, so they are legitimate. That's good. Anyways, should be interesting. Yes, we'll see you all tonight. Everybody, let us keep roaming, shall we? I've tired from this exhausting lurch across this road. I need to get up off my feet. And Wanrich puts his hand on your back, Marion, and gestures forward for you to keep walking. He looks directly up underneath your hood and just smiles as he walks.
Don't say a word.
Can I look over at Wandrich real quick and go, friends, meet my friends?
Your friends. My friends!
Ah, good friends.
We only accept the best of friends. Come on, everybody, walk with me.
Hello,
They all
friend.
walk past. Hello, pleasure to meet you. Your accent is actually quite reputable. And you hear from one of the scouts as everyone's walking past, fucking orcs. Once you get far enough away from everybody walking down the road, Wandrich will look at each of you. Sorry for intervening, though I thought you probably had the situation cared for. I was just making sure they wouldn't get a little rough with any of you.
Military. They take a bribe and their day is set.
I didn't know it was you being the one bribing them. Best to look out for folks like all of us, right?
Of course.
That's how the
And he's
military
looking
works
up
over
at
here.
you, Marion. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Bernie?
Is that how the military works over here? Okay.
Yes. I thought you were from someplace else. Don't worry, you're amongst friends with all of us. The odd, the macabre, those that don't stand a chance here in this world are always welcomed with the maestro.
Pull my hood back.
Hello.
I do thank you for your timely intervention.
Oh, of course. Although I assume John had the situation handled perfectly fine. It has been quite some time since we've ran into you.
Oh, indeed, he was doing a wonderful job. That was a fantastic performance, John, by the way.
I mean, only the tip of the iceberg of the greatest of magics that I possess.
Right. Good job. Might I ask how you two know each other?
Work, mostly. We've performed and shared each other's company for a good period of time.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. Wallstritz, was it?
Wandrich. My name is
Wandrich.
Maestro Wandrich, the founder and creator of the wonderful Dreamscape Circus.
His tongue is a bit better than his ear.
Good for him. And of course, this is my family. Please introduce yourselves, everybody. You see the half-elf with the lute just looks up at you guys. Casper, pleasure to meet you. Goes back to just strumming. Hello, everybody. I am Calic, the half-brother of Wandrich. Much more charming, I believe. Wandrich gives him an approving nod.
Good to meet you all.
Yes. The tiefling in the back is kind of just like very sheepish around all of you, just keeping to themselves. And the guy in the back with the very large axe is just staring at you all. Gosh.
Pleasure
God.
to meet all of you. I am Tulsha.
Tosha,
Yeah.
that is not a Zemnian name.
It is not.
You can call me Bernie.
Bernie. I like Bernie. It's comforting, friendly, easy to understand, and to get along with. Bernie.
Right. Yeah, I
Nice
suppose.
name.
Yeah. Thanks. Right. So you guys are with this circus, or were you just
Yeah.
going there?
Oh no, we're with the circus. I am the founder of the circus itself, and these
Oh,
are my
okay.
family and fellow performers here. We all have acts that we perform, and may I suggest, looking back at Marion and now Torsha as well, you all hang out with us a little bit so we can better teach you how to blend in here at the Empire a bit better. It would be a shame if something were to happen to you because of some dastardly individual's ideals of right and wrong. We'd hate for anything to
Right.
happen like that.
Of course.
I would appreciate that. It's always best to learn new things.
Good. And don't worry, even though I am a human, I was raised with my half-brother over there and his mother. I have seen firsthand the foul treatment you all receive.
Well, only mistreated by those who have a false sense of superiority. You'll find many to come within the Empire don't all share in that same distorted value.
Right, of course, there's plenty good folk here in the Empire, of course. It's just better safe than sorry.
As with all places, I suppose there are assholes and good people everywhere.
Of course. Luckily, with all of us, each of us is a little bit of both.
Too true.
But anyways, yes, we're just up ahead. For free, you said. That was the first offering that you were going to bribe them with?
I figure if I'm going to be paying them off, it might as well be coin going to reputable people.
Oh, so you were planning for covering their heads. Wonderful, then. No need for increased activity tonight.
I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more than the coin I offer for them.
It's an expensive hobby to keep going around this coast. But that's what happens when you bite off exactly as much as you can chew, right? Anyways, let us keep walking. And he wanders and struts up the road with everybody falling in tow. And as this is happening, you see that Calic is trying to mimic him exactly as he is acting. And the other three are very distinguished in doing their own things the entire time. So, Mr. Bernie, what brings you over to the Empire?
Just wandering.
They're here to kill the king.
What are you on
Kill
about?
the king! He pulls out his short sword, raising it up into the sky, slaying the dastardly man himself and dethroning the ill-trotted in this land.
Right.
Hear, hear.
You're comical as always, John. And he stows his sword.
Is that right? Yes, definitely
It's an
not
inside
here
joke.
to. Okay, right. I'm just not very used to this. How the culture here, I suppose. It's different.
Well, don't mistake our culture for the culture of the Empire. Please. We've built our own community, our own family, our own way of life, just to survive here and do what we please, to be able to be wayward, wandering souls whisked away by the winds and carried whimsically to our destinations.
Right, I see. So this circus, is it just you and your men here, or are there more people as
Oh,
well?
there's plenty of us. In recent years, many more people have found that our lifestyle is preferable to the lifestyle of, well, the mundane. So I think as of date, Rain, how many are under you again? Rain looks up. Um, I believe the last time I checked, there was 100 people. Wow, 100. Probably more, maybe less. It's hard to keep track.
I see.
Some come, some go. You always return home eventually.
Right. This is, I suppose, safety in numbers, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's quite a sizable amount of people.
What can I say? People congregate.
Indeed, they do.
Right.
How long have you been in charge of the circus?
Me? Oh, I've been working on this for 35 years. We started off with myself at a very young age, my mother, who raised me, and, well, a few friends that were just, by the standards of others, abnormal. And throughout time, we found out that if we embraced our uniqueness, that, well, some people would show up to see wonders, some people would show up to experience a story, and others would show up to point and laugh. But the important thing was, they all showed up and they all paid us. And over time, my brother grew up here to join us as well, and we just started recruiting people who came across us, liked what we were doing, and had no reason to stay behind.
So you've just been wandering around the empire, sharing the delights of the circus with everyone?
The Empire, the Menagerie. At some point in time, we went up north, but that forest was disgusting, and we kind of just turned back around about halfway through it. But yes, just wandering. We have this wonderful game where whenever we come up to a crossroad towards a new destination, we pick a random person, drawing names from my hat, and that person chooses the direction we go.
That actually sounds quite fun.
It is! You never know where the wind will carry you.
Quite so.
So, isn't it more? I mean, things are a bit on edge nowadays, right? With the brewing conflict and all, isn't
Yes.
it a bit more dangerous to travel the roads?
Oh, far more dangerous to travel the roads, especially as unique individuals.
Right.
Being out here, there are some people who are incredibly scared. Some people are incredibly angry. Most of the time, they're both. So that's why we stick in larger groups and numbers. And, well, we have phenomenal security within our cast as well. Isn't that right, Gash? Yeah.
Sure. Well, you look like you can handle yourself, certainly. So do you often have problems with military patrols like that, or?
Not in the past 15 years or so. They're not really a problem for me anymore. I've learned the art of handling them, much like your friend here. Actually, he showed me a few new tricks last time we met on how to better deal with them.
I see. Right. Well, it's we're very fortunate that you came along then.
Call it fortune, call it favor, call it destiny, whatever floats your metaphorical boat.
All right. Sure.
All right,
So, yeah.
let us continue. And their group will continue walking with all of you. And as you are marching, you do walk for roughly about 50 minutes, and your illusions are about to disappear.
Right. And it's just us and those other guys around.
Yep. It's just you and the Maestro's people.
Right. I'm just gonna look over at them and right, so give them a wave as it starts fading.
Man, that's cool.
Certainly handy in these.
Rain immediately smiles. Rain, please introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Rain. I've never met another tiefling before.
Oh. Well, yes. Hello. This is Kurt. He's my brother, as you can probably tell. I imagine his disguise also starts fading about now. So
the exact same, yeah. Just
yeah. Well,
wow.
Not just brothers. I guess we're twins. So yeah.
You have a. I also have a brother, but he doesn't look anything like me. He didn't. I don't know what happened.
No.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right. I haven't met one of many of our kind at least. Out and about. Have you grown up here in the Empire?
Yeah. I lived in Rexingtrim growing up at a young age, and when I was around 12, my horns started growing. My horns are smaller than yours. Is that normal?
I don't really know what's normal. As I said, I haven't really met that many of us.
And I pull out my book of encyclopedias and pull the tieflings and just say,
flip through the page. Rain's horns. Let's blow it up a little bit. They're smaller, but they're not abnormally small or anything. They're average. Bernie actually and Kurt have fairly large horns for the average tiefling, but the variance between sizes is enormous.
Welcome back, Icebreaker.
while holding my book. Your horn size is normal. Theirs are larger than average, but that can range a variety of factors. As I finally pull down my hood, and now they see Goliath with blonde hair.
Oh, okay. Hi. Oh, that's
Hello.
cool. And Wanderers just looks over, and don't forget, you're beautiful and perfect just the way you are.
Right. Well, you know what they say, the bigger the horns, the bigger something else is as well.
There's so much about tiefling culture I have to learn about.
Sorry. Yeah. It's tiefling culture. I mean, is there like a community of tieflings anywhere?
I don't know. I've never met another tiefling.
Oh, right. No, I haven't heard of
I've heard about others. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, most of the time they're just, I don't know. The Empire just doesn't have tieflings for some reason.
No. Well, we did see a few down in Port Damali on the coast. I mean, there's not that many, but from time to time.
Don't worry, when it's my turn to pick again, once the borders open back up, we'll head down there and maybe we'll meet some more of your kin. Yeah, that'd be nice. Sorry, I didn't want to make this like a big deal or anything. I don't get to see people who look like me.
Right. Well, pleasure to make your acquaintance, Rain.
I nudge Lily. You're the only one who hasn't introduced herself yet.
So, to quickly catch you up, Icebreaker, Marion now has his two guys carrying John whenever you are far away from anybody to notice, because John complains about walking.
I see skeletons.
Kent is catching up, but it's going to take him a little while because, well, he was really fucking far away. You all made it to the primary road where you came across an encampment of Crown's guards. John was managing to finesse all of them, but the traveling maestro Wandrich, who's in charge of the circus, all of you were going to pass through anyways, walk down the road with his posse of people and, well, just kind of confirm that all of you were going to be performing, as John was alluding to with the Zemnians, in order to help you all get away with not really being interacted with if they could be helped. You used your illusions to hide. Bernie and Kurt both used their illusions to hide. And Marion and Tolsha just tried hiding with their hoods, but Marion is 1.5 feet taller than everybody else in the area, so, you know, that doesn't work so terribly well.
Yeah,
but
and
yeah,
apparently
now
he's
you're
wearing
walking
the
down
wig,
the road
right?
with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And now you're walking down the road with all of them where the illusions have fallen off, and Rain, one of the tieflings that is with the circus and with Wandrich, is super excited for meeting the first tieflings in their life. So yeah, now you all arrive right at the entryway of the circus. As you are walking up, you see a very large section of the land and road has been completely taken over by a beautiful arrangement of various different colors, tapestries, cloth, silks, lights, and baubles all around you. You see, your eye lingers only for but a moment before finding another intriguing, curious looking building, construction site, or tent that just stands out to you all. As you're looking across the landscape at all of this, you start noticing all various individuals of different walks of life in this area. Many of them are very unique, just the same as your party as well. And as you're walking through, everybody that you are walking here with gets helloed by passing workers that are currently standing about. You hear there's music playing from multiple different stages all across the circus, and it's just a lively atmosphere where people are enjoying themselves, hanging out, relaxing before the big show tonight. All of you, welcome to our family.
Thank you. We're not really here to join the family, as it were.
That's fine.
What you're...
Nonsense. We're family as long as we're staying. We appreciate the invitation. Most gracious company.
I mean, I always did want to try joining the circus at some points.
Anybody who wishes is welcome here.
Well, I suppose our life has been kind of a circus these last few months anyway, so...
Why not join one as well?
I hear a story. Will this
Fair
require
enough.
wine or a stout?
A lot of
Oh.
booze. A lot
All
of
of it.
booze.
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, just pick up whatever you want from any of the stalls. Everybody, these are our friends passing through, potentially staying longer, maybe enjoying or participating as well. Treat
Can I
them
just...
as if they were one of us. Go for it.
Yeah, I just want to roll a sort of like a general insight check to get a sense of the people here and whether they are actually doing or acting like they say they are.
26. Though not everybody is as jovial as Wandrich is, they all seem to be very fond of him, his words, and the prospect of new people wandering about. The people here are all manners of walks of life, and they seem to be very accepting of unique individuals into their care. There is a few that you would definitely document as unsavory, questionable, lingering within the crowd, but the general atmosphere seems pretty set with what he is advertising, though, of course, it is being embellished for theatrical reasons.
Sure, but they seem mostly like very trustworthy, sort of. Well, kind of.
These are people you would trust with. You get the vibe that if you were one of them, you could trust them with your life, but not your wallet.
Sure, right.
Those types.
Yep.
Morally sound, ethically bankrupt. Just... So yes, grab whatever you would like. Hello, Tina, Dina, Rena, how are you? He passes by a set of triplets, halflings, that all wave at you as you walk past.
Are they on their on each other's shoulders and wearing a trench coat?
Nope, not yet. And he starts grabbing a couple of ales from one of the tents, just lifts them off the counter, starts drinking one, and holds out the other one to his brother, who gleefully takes it and sips very thirstily.
Bernie's going to like take some extra steps to make sure his coin pouch is a bit more secure.
All right.
Putting it underneath like the coat or something.
You doing that, Tolsha and you would both notice Rain's eyes dart down to the coin purse almost instinctually as where you were moving it. Sorry, habit. Always better to know.
Which thieves' can are we picking up walking through this place?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Also going to move my coins around me.
Yeah, I'm going to space them out a bit as well. Maybe split them into 2 different pouches that I will keep up near the top of my armor.
Bernie, you notice Lily's tail is starting to like lift your coin purse playfully, almost trying to like distract you or make you like check on it.
Slap her tail.
The tail immediately slaps you back right on the ass.
I yank it.
What, the tail?
Yeah. What are you doing? Stop fiddling around.
No, everybody. Let me make it perfectly clear. They're one of us, and we do not steal from one of us. Some
Good
people
friends,
amongst the
good
crowd
friends.
goes, damn it. You see, some of them look disappointed. Others nod enthusiastically, and Rain nods as well. Rain, I trust that you'll be able to handle all of those under your care tonight. Yeah, of course. I'll make sure they know. Wonderful.
I make
trust you
a
completely.
public showing too of paying Wandrich for the upcoming presents of the soldiers. I'll give him a pouch of like 50 gold.
Alrighty, yeah, that's about what they would steal from the soldiers, so yeah. Thank you so very much. Anyways, I heard that you all had a story to tell. And I, for one, love stories.
Tell me, when you look at us, what's the first thing you think of?
Beauty, serenity, and fear.
That's fair. Would you ever guess that we, pointing to Miriam, Kurt, Bernie, and I, are all siblings?
Tulsa, how maybe we should be. I mean,
Metaphorically speaking, correct? I mean, like,
yes.
we're all family here, of course.
Nope, he's a real son of a bitch.
Yep, they're all bastards.
That's true, I suppose. Glorious bastards.
Glorious bastards. I like that. That sounds like a performance in and of itself.
Yeah, I suppose. Could be like a troop name or something.
Mm. And what would the glorious bastards be performing then?
I don't plan on performing anything.
Well, we're just theory crafting here, throwing ideas out of things.
He can swing a sword.
You can swing a sword. Are you good at this? Graceful with it? Powerful with it?
I don't really like to.
He once saw him slay a giant with a single swing of his blade.
That's not quite true, though.
It took 3.
Hey, embellishing. Embellishing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I wouldn't consider myself very graceful. More straight on, sort of efficient, I suppose. That's what I'm going for anyway.
He's just being modest. He's a real hero. Behold, and Lily's
Gonna remotely activate his
No, I
billowing cloak
just start
after she says
taking
that.
off the cloak as it starts bellowing.
Just waving in the wind.
God damn
A
it.
stray kite.
I cast dancing lights behind him so it looks like he's got a sun rising from him.
Despite how much you fight back, your family hypes you up.
Yes, I am indeed very much a hero of legend. I roll my eyes enthusiastically, sort of.
But your name, it doesn't suit a hero of legends. Bernie is a friendly companion, a assistant, a sidekick, if you will. You need something more powerful, like Brian or Baron.
I like Burn. That sounds mighty and strong.
Yes, Baron the Mighty. See, it suits you.
Yes.
I give him like a sort of a squint.
And for those nights where he might be with someone, roll the aura, so Baron.
Ooh. We don't conduct shows like that anymore. We got into a really big situation a while back, but yes.
Anymore.
Yes, well, that would be probably a better name then for someone like me, I suppose. Although, no, I'm not a hero. None of us are. Well, no, none of us are heroes.
So Bernie it is.
In a
It's
way-
fine.
Sure.
In some ways, you could say we're holding out for a hero.
I suppose. So, right. So, do you have any interesting stories to tell? You must have.
You know, I can't think of a single one right now. I can only think of 11.
Right.
Yes, I mean, each of us has a unique tale. Of course, there's only one story that belongs to me, myself, and I saved that for my performance tonight. However, the story that I tell for everybody else, for those that don't have the, well, ability to express themselves in their true nature, how they are, I'm always more than happy to share that, as there may be one of my family here that intrigues you and you wish to know their story. I'll regale it for you.
Sure.
So which of the 5 people do you see? Or 4 people, because Wandrich is the main event. Whose story are you interested in?
I give sort of a discerning glance at all of them, and then I look at Gash. Just, your man there seems to be a man of few words.
A man of few words, but a man of beautiful sound. Gash, may I express your truth? Yeah. Wonderful. You see, Gash is nobility. He grew up here in the Empire, close to the courts of the king himself. Always loving the sounds and sways of the music he would hear from the academy next door to his home. The music swayed him, it enveloped him, and it distracted him from his duties. Where he would have turned into a wonderful and powerful servant to the crown, he instead wanted to turn his attentions to the sound. Every evening, sneaking away into the academy and picking up different instruments, experimenting until one in particular sat well with him. You see, Gash lifts his large axe with the strings and gum! Very loud vibration shoots through the entire area. He found the calling of his own instrument. The sounds sat with him, the expression of his own power, turmoil, and thoughts always echoing out with every single strum that he committed to. Of course, these distractions were cut short one evening when he was discovered breaking into the academy, and he left home, stealing the instrument and wandering the streets, caring about nothing but playing his own tune. Making money as a peddler, performing for people on different various places in the roads. Survived until about, I'd say 10 years ago or so, on his own. Then with us passing through Rexingtrim, finding him, discovering him, Gash knew he found his home. Like all of us. Did I miss anything, Gash? I also play the violin. Man of many talents.
Right. Well, it's a very good story. Don't play the violin. I guess you could say I play at violins sometimes, but that's more out of necessity than any sort of natural proclivity.
Of course. Now we shared one of ours. One of you share one of yours. Shall I
Osha,
pick?
Why don't you?
Oh, or be volunteered.
Yeah, Osha, why don't you share your story, how it brought us all together.
Oh, I could, but I wouldn't want to hog the spotlight.
Please. In this area, it's impossible to keep it to yourself for too long.
She lets out a sigh, like, well, I mentioned how we're siblings and whatnot. Until a few months ago, I didn't realize I had any other siblings other than my brother. Till I got my first letter from my father. The first one ever. The first one even realizing that he was alive. And that apparently that a group of individuals was hunting after me for, let's just say, stepping in an area I shouldn't have. With the information that not only was he giving me a way to get to safety, but that my siblings were going to meet me there. First, I was angry, but then excited, to learn that there's family just beyond myself, my brother, my mother, my grandmother. This group of people, they aren't good. Quite the opposite, in fact. They go by a couple names, but, well, she's hesitant about mentioning their name. I don't want to say their name aloud. But I took passage on the boat to get over to Palma Flora, where I met these wonderful people for the first time. Still remember Lily trying to pass herself off as Miriam until Miriam showed up and slapped her on the back of the head. We all thought we were going to meet our father there. Instead, it started us on a wild goose chase to try and find him, leading us up the coast and towards Port Damali, where we stopped at a resort only to discover it was being run by Fae, and that they were letting the nobles do what they wanted to the common guests. And after that, we made our way up here towards into the Empire, where we into Pride's Call. We met our dad, and most of us think he is a bastard, honestly. But I feel like there's some good in him that just is under the surface. You know? It's some people just jump to conclusions too quickly, not trying to get to know someone before they judge them. But yeah, aside from that, I'm an archaeologist, and that's really it.
Wow. Captivating story, to say the least. And he looks around, shrugs. I suppose. Bastard was an accurate description then? You really are family, aren't you?
Except for that when she's adopted.
My brother used to tell me the same thing. Wow. That is quite a tale.
So, yes, so we're from the Menagerie Coast, then, I guess you could say.
You can be from wherever you wish to be from.
All over.
Exactly.
John,
Yeah.
where did you discover these people?
I was back in Pride's Call.
And in Thieves' Cant, he's gonna ask you. They aren't your inquiry, are they?
No. Tied in a bit to my previous business, and now they're helping me sort my last dealing.
Good. Well, I am sorry for the atmosphere shift and pressuring you into speaking. I apologize. Take full responsibility for that. But it's good to know the people around you. Here we believe that everybody should always be forthright with those that are expected to have your back.
Sure.
I mean, it's good to have trust with one another.
It is. I guess we just don't necessarily quite know what to expect at this point.
The beauty of the carnival. You never know what you're going to get.
Right.
Excitement, thrills, intrigue.
Wondrish will walk directly up to you, Bernie. When it comes to us, there are two things you can expect. One, you'll be treated like family so long as you are here. No exceptions. And two, you'll leave with a new perspective. Even if it is just to hate some of us.
Sure. I'm just, well, being this hospitable, I mean, you open yourself up to being sort of taken advantage of by people with less honorable intentions, I suppose.
Of course.
Right.
And?
No, it's just, when you're right. Well, I lean in a little bit closer to him, and as Talsha indicated, she's being targeted by a certain group, and we're just out to keep her and ourselves safe.
be as suspicious as you wish to be of all of us. Please, I encourage it. Keep yourself safe. Keep your family safe. It's the right thing to do. But in time, you'll realize we're not a threat to all of you so long as you are not a threat to any of us. And if you bring trouble to our doorstep intentionally, then you're a threat to us. If you bring it here from no fault of your own, then you have all of us with you. That's what it means to be family.
Wondrich, I warn you, they only have the best of intentions. Troublesome.
What else is new? Welcome to everybody who joins us. We don't do the right thing because it's easy. We don't do the right thing to help people. We do the right thing because it is the right thing to do. No other reason.
Well, I mean, sometimes the right thing to do is also the most fun.
Why not always have fun?
I know, right?
Thank you for offering us to stay with your family. I'm sure we'd be happy to help in any way we can. I can mend things with magic as well as heal people if you require it.
Right. And I suppose if you have anyone who's suffering from some kind of illness or food poisoning or anything of the sort, I can deal with that as well. And heal, I suppose.
Yeah. Lily will also lean in and whisper.
But if you need someone to act the part as, you know, a hero in one of your grand stories, Bernie's your guy. Or Baron.
Of course. Take the evening, enjoy the show, stay with us. Leave in the morning if you wish, ahead of all of us. Or travel with us, either way. But tomorrow, if you are staying with us, you will be put to work. Everyone pulls their weight around here, no exceptions. Unless, of course, you can find a way to convince other people to do your job for you. He looks over at you, John.
Oh, what? I'm sorry. I'm beginning the festivities early. He takes another drink.
Mm-hmm. Those cages still need to be cleaned eventually.
Were they not?
Right.
I could have sworn they were, and then got dirty again quickly.
Don't worry, John. I'll carry you over there so you don't tire out your small feet.
Oh, he tries that on you as well.
Not all of us are built to the magnitude of being able to withstand long treks, and he just like pulls up his pant and you just see a very skinny pale leg.
Well, it doesn't. I wasn't born like that, you know. Well, anyway,
Mood
yeah, quick
change.
question.
Enjoy the festivities. Go wherever you please. Do as you like here. Wander, inquire, enjoy everything, all right? I have a show to set up. Lily,
Right,
go ahead.
thank
You were
you.
asking something?
Sorry, I just sneezed for a second. Quick question. So this is a carnival. It's a festival, or it's a circus. It's got exotic animals like exotic cats and tigers and stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah. As John's getting carried away and he's showing off his leg, Lily's pulling out that laser pointer from way back when and pointing it right at his leg.
Oh my god.
Luckily, all the animals are caged.
I figured, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
You do
I could
see a
fix.
couple of lions. Just
Just lying around.
uh
I look over at Lily. I could fix that, you know. I could let some of them out.
Well, I mean, there's a certain level of trust you should get with the circus to allow them to let them out. In fact, speaking of trust, you said you wanted to have a private conversation, just, girls' night out. Why don't we go take care of that tonight?
Sure.
by the way, how long has it been since? Because I had to leave real quick. How long since that moment earlier this session was it?
oh, it's been a few days.
Okay, so
About
yeah, Lily's
5 or 6.
okay.
Oh no, it'd only be 2 because you use your boat at night and then you walk in day. So yeah, it'd only be 2 days.
Okay, all right.
Fast travel unlocked. So the 2 of you are gonna have a little conversation then.
You could say that.
All right. Then find a place on the map the 2 of you wish to hang out, relax. We can have your conversation.
This secluded area behind the tents where no one can see or hear you scream seems like a good idea place.
Perfect. Go there.
Also the barrels of, I'm assuming, alcohol.
Yes. So the 2 of you wander back there to hash out some details. Go right ahead.
So, I know I've been a bit quiet, a bit frustrated, maybe would be the right term, with you. What did you want to talk about, Tulsha?
Well, I don't know exactly what Shale overheard, other than Miriam said that she did. But before she left, she told me to talk. Do we need to talk about something? I would assume it's that, but I know things have been a bit strenuous between us, and well,
I'm just wondering, do you think you know when it started? 'Cause
when
I can't even remember. It's been so long.
I know what you're referring to, and she places the vial of your blood back in your hands. Like, it was when I took this from you. I'm sorry.
Right. I mean, it's one thing to be sorry. I mean, I could destroy that now even, but then what's the point? You could just do it again. Tulsha, let me ask you a question real quick, and feel free to take your time with the answer. What do you think the absolute worst, most painful thing about betrayal is?
That it comes from the people you least suspect.
Right. It never comes from the enemy, never comes from someone you hate. It comes from those that you trust, that you feel close to. And frankly speaking, I know everyone here sees themselves as a big old happy family, but honestly speaking, the only one who I trust to be my family is a big blonde dork of a wizard. And the reason, and I've tried branching out before with my trust. Once, way back in my past, once when we went to go do a resort, I met this very kind minotaur who turned out to be a bad man. And well, then I put my trust in people I considered two people I considered my sisters, the ones I got so close to before, and honestly was going to fully begin to trust in, but then one happened to get us into a situation and then leave without a word. And then the other held me down against my will and took something that I didn't want them to until I was ready. I'm just wondering, do you know what that kind of thing could do to someone? It could, it could drive some people crazy. It might cause some people to hate or even, be murderous.
Look down at the ground like, look, I'm sorry. I was just been so used to having to get my brother to do things that he didn't want to. He'd always be the one to run away into danger and trouble, and I have to get him out of it. That I didn't want that to happen to you, particularly after when you got taken in Pride's call. I didn't want to lose you, okay? I don't want to lose any of you guys. It hurt when Shale left. She left without a goodbye. I wasn't even expecting that, and sure, I can send her messages, but she can choose not to respond. And what if we had been too late, Lily? What if by the time we had gotten there, you had already been gone and taken, or you had been killed? I didn't want that to happen. Not just because I'd lose a sister, but because Miriam would have been devastated. I shouldn't have cast that spell on you to take it by force, but I shouldn't have. I just wanted to make sure I could keep you safe. And I see that I've lost your trust as a result.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry. But when we went and tried to find you, I saw the look of panic in Miriam's eyes and the anger whenever he sees you get hurt. I can only imagine how bad and how angry and what he might do if he actually lost you for good.
No. Fulsher, just because you apologize, just because you say you're sorry, doesn't mean I'm going to fully trust you again. But I will say that I'm going to be with you all to help keep Marion safe, because despite what you said in your story, despite what Boney thought a couple days ago when he brought the two skeletons in a barn, he's a good man.
He is.
I could even tell a story of about a long time ago when we were kids. There was a young girl up on a cliff, just by herself, and he decided to go read to that girl. Well, not so much read, just be with her. And he never pestered her or anything, but what I learned later from that goal. She didn't really find meaning with her life. She was going to throw it away if she had gotten the chance. But Miriam was there to stop it from happening. That's the kind of man he is, and I'm going to make sure he gets through to his goals for it. Now, I don't know about you, and like I said, I still don't fully trust you, but this keg of ale looks like it needs to get downed.
Is there anything I can do? To try and get you to trust me again?
I don't know. I will say that this was a step in a good direction, clearing the air, but I don't know, Tosha.
And with that, Lily will just walk away.
Just gonna
So,
stay back there for a while.
so Bernie, Miriam, John. Are the three of you enjoying the festivities during this entire conversation?
I'm staying sober as best I can, and spending while Tulsa and Lily's away, I'll be like walking around the area here, just taking in the sights and trying to get the sense of the people who's there and keeping an extra watch on any valuables I have.
All right, all right.
Even though he did say
Marion?
they shouldn't pickpocket us, but yeah.
Yeah, you never know, right? Like it's you told your brother not to summon, skeletons, and look what happened. Anyways, Miriam.
Miriam is going to enjoy the carnival. Just gonna make sure, gonna try some games, maybe win a stuffed animal for Lily. He's gonna enjoy himself in this little bit.
All right, just playing games, eating some food. They have this thing. It's called a deep fried uh-oh. Apparently, some type of cookie, chocolate creamy thing that's deep fried and drizzled in chocolate, and it feels like it shortens your life with each bite. Worth it. And John, I assume you're going to continue doing your regular thing here whenever you pass through. I mean, you're more than welcome to hang out at the face painting station if you want.
Yeah, I do some of that. I set up my own few performances, do a little hypnotism, do a little magic, teleporting, levitating cards, and all the sorts.
Ooh.
And at some point, probably seeing Bernie walk by, like hands in his pockets and like looking around at people, I'll go up to him and just say, "Hey, I can tell you're having a little trouble. You're not a very. It's obvious you're not fully trusting of people, but are you that worried about losing things?"
Well, it's not like I'm expecting everyone to come out and start trying to rob me, but I have experiences with criminals before, and I'm not judging
May I help you?
right now. What? Yes, sure.
Show me whatever it is you wish to keep on your person through the night. Whatever it may be. Just here.
Just all my things and gold.
Your coin, is that safe to assume?
Yeah.
Okay. Show me the bag. I
Okay.
mean, I can already just pull it out is what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I reach for the bag, like looking him in the eye, and I'm like, okay. I take the bag and I tie it around his horn. You will not lose that. I promise you.
You fucker.
It tangles right there beside your head. I mean,
Trust me, Bernie, you will not lose a single coin. They will hear it and they will be terrified of it.
Right.
And he just
I can't help but get the sense that you're that there is sort of like an extra layer to this, as it were.
Those who want it would take it, but that is something they would not dare to take.
No, and those who want me to look ridiculous will have a good night.
You can enjoy your company safely, I assure you.
Right.
And I go back to the small crowd that I was at, like a few feet back, and pull out another deck of cards.
And as he walks away, I'm just like shaking my head and just taking off the bag again and putting it inside my coat, and then I'm making my way back to Rain, the other tiefling.
Rain seems to be wandering around the event, just, slipping between the crowd, keeping a watch, and generally patrolling the area. And when they see you, they smile and wave at you.
Yeah, so just...
Hey.
I just thought maybe we could, I don't know, talk a little bit since you haven't met any other tieflings. You said...
Yeah, just talk and walk. Shouldn't be an issue.
Sure. And you said you were from Rexentrum, right?
Right, that's where I was born.
Right. In that case, I mean, we're actually headed there.
Oh. I mean...
Yeah, trying to help out John with some issues. It's not really mine to talk about, I suppose, unless he wants to say it. But anyway, so you must know the city quite well then.
Yeah, I know it pretty well.
Right. I mean, from what I've heard, it's not. The Empire isn't all too friendly towards our kind, I suppose.
No. I know why there's not a lot of tieflings in the Empire.
Oh.
I ran away.
Right.
To survive.
Okay. Right. I'm sorry to hear that. Must have been hard for you, I suppose.
You learn how to survive. And Bernie, you notice that they do very quickly with a pair of very tiny scissors snip the strings of somebody's coin purse, flips around and ties a new coin purse to them.
While we're talking?
Yeah, just casually swiping from other people, not you.
Sort of it's sort of seething inside me.
Without even breaking eye contact either. It's just it's literally just
yeah. This is second nature. Some people idly tap their foot, just.
Yeah. So some part of me is saying I should knock him out and arrest him or something, but I can't do that. Too,
exactly.
So, yeah. Right. Just can you please not do that in front of me?
Oh, I'm so... It's... Yeah, no problem.
I mean, it doesn't make it better that I don't see it, but... I mean, people have worked for those coins, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's
I'm not
forget
targeting
it. It's
farmers. That person over there, freaking look at them. You see that jewel necklace? That has to be at least 2 generations old, right? Sentimental value on them. And then you look at their dress itself. That's the newest fashion. They definitely had that updated and hemmed and trimmed specifically for this event, which means they probably spent a good 5 or 10 gold on that by itself. And the coin purse I'm giving back to them has 10 in it. Just whatever else they had on them, I'm taking. These are people that have more than enough. But if it makes you feel better, I will keep my hands to myself while we talk. I don't target poor people. I've been poor.
right. Well, that's good to have some kind of code.
Yeah, I only target the people that clearly have way more than what I'm taking.
Right. Well, I was kind of hoping if you had any sort of, seeing as me and my companions are eventually headed to Rexentrum, if you had any sort of tips or hints about how to get our way through the city, or if you have any contacts that are trustworthy and can be of some kind of assistance, that could be very helpful.
So when I was there wasn't a whole lot of people like us. Just people that were different in general. Stay out of any of the more populated areas. That would be pretty bad for you, actually. 1 second, let me bring up the map of Rexingtrum and see what they would know. The tangles are pretty cool in most of the places. If you get to any of the portions of it where like the Crown's Guard work, that's kind of not. Definitely try to avoid all of that. You want to stay out of the Shimmer Ward altogether. Some people, if you have enough coin, they'll treat you right. Sorry.
What's the Shimmer Ward?
The Shimmer Ward, the city, it's a ring, right? And it moves inside of the massive walls that keep them safeguarded and protected. The Shimmer Ward is the inside most ward inside of the entire city. It is very fortified. It's where all of the diplomats live. The only thing more guarded than the ward itself would have to be probably Castle Ugenbrock, the Academy grounds, or the Court of Colors.
Right. Yes. Well, I hope we don't need to go into that kind of area then, but
you can trust the goblins.
Goblins.
The goblins, yeah. They helped me survive in the streets when I first got into them. Actually, a lot of them taught me the tricks that I know today. They're not going to trust John at all, just out of necessity. Right. But the moment they see you, I mean, they treated me all right.
Okay, so how do the goblins are sort of tolerated in the city, or how does that?
They're more ignored. Not a lot of them have actual businesses or any means of existing in the city other than living in the gutters, and their own little hovels and communities, rundown places. Like, they just exist, you know.
Right.
They're there.
I see. Right. Right. Well, the thing is, we're going there to look for someone. Well, it's called. I mean, this is kind of a stretch, but someone called the handler.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect you to know who this person is, but maybe you know of someone who might know more, or at least where to start looking.
If you're looking for somebody who knows more, when I was last in there, Ustela.
Ustela.
Ustela. Yeah.
Right.
She's a bit eccentric. Lives inside of a round building on the west side of the Mudtop Ward.
Okay.
I'm typing that out for you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
She's pricey though. But if there's anybody who needs to be found discreetly, Ustela knows.
Right. Okay.
I used her to find my brother.
Oh, you have a brother.
Yeah. We don't look the same.
Oh, right.
And he
yeah,
was a
yeah.
few years younger than
Sorry,
me.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier. I've just been.
I just
Yeah.
apparently
So-
he's at the academy.
Oh.
You know? Yeah.
What's that called again? The it's not the.
Solstice.
You're right. Solstice coming.
Yeah.
So he's a wizard of some kind, then. Or...
He's being trained.
I see. Well, I hope it works out for him. I suppose. You don't have any contact with him anymore, or?
No.
Right.
It's best that we don't.
Right, I suppose. Keeping up appearances.
If he's happy, that's all that really matters, you know?
Right. Well, I suppose. Well, no, he probably wouldn't want to. Well, if you want, I suppose since we're going there, I could potentially get a letter sent his way or something, if you want. Just as a favor in return
that's
for.
fine. Listen, it's not that big of a deal, right? We help each other out. That's all.
Sure. Well,
I'm not expecting something in return.
Well, it's always good to. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Isn't that how it works?
My back's not itchy. They pat you on your back.
Right. Well, fair enough. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna walk around for a little bit and try and get in what's going on here.
Yeah.
And
Enjoy. Oh, try the churros. They're from Marquette in design. We learned the recipe directly from them. Oh my goodness, are they delicious?
okay. Are they very spicy by chance or anything?
No,
Right.
they're sweet.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, me and my brother, we've had a bit of some upset tummies from time to time here on. Right. You know, local food isn't always that agreeable. In
Oh, yeah.
right.
guess.
Well, yeah. Enjoy yourself as well, and if you have any questions or anything I could help with, go ahead and ask.
Sure thing. I will always be happy to ask you whatever. And I think that's where we're going to call the session today, everybody. All of you beginning to enjoy the festivities of the circus, learn a little bit more about the surrounding people, the curious, and getting ready for the larger performance that is coming tonight that all of you are expected to attend. For reasons. Players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. Hope you all had a fantastic time. We will see you next week. Goodbye.